Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. And tonight, Airport Workers Union backs its management decision to close down McDan Aviation private jet terminal over an alleged debt of $3 million.
We got to know that the company has been shut down this morning by Managing Director of the Ghana Airport Company, Madam Yvonne. And we believe it is because of the indebtedness of McDan to GACL.
We have details plus a response from the company which disputes the $3 million figure but admits it owes and says it is working to resolve the debt dispute.
We do not owe $3 million at the terminal. That $3 million that you're talking about is a bit from the terminal, but then the bulk of it is on the land issue that I talked about that we acquired from Ghana Airport Company. Last Friday, we issued a check to Ghana Airport Company for 2 million cedis.
Also coming up tonight, calls intensify for the perennial financial challenges causing the delay in the release of WASSCE results by WAEC to be addressed, with experts describing the trend as embarrassing.
It is important that we address the systemic issues that continues to cause delay in release of funds to WAEC for both WASSCE and BC fees, the reason why we had this challenge.
Details as WAEC releases the provisional results of the 2024 West African Senior High School Certificate Examination WASSCE, but without the entire result of some 209 candidates. Also later, Joe News' Erastus Asaridonko honored with the prestigious Order of the Volta Membership Award for his outstanding contributions to the nation through his fearless and dedicated journalism at the 2024 National Honors and Awards Ceremony.
Mr. Erastus Asari Donko. The citation honors your tireless efforts to promote excellence, transparency, accountability, integrity, and responsible journalism.
To gain recognition nationwide and get a national recognition for your works is exemplary.
And in business, banks push incoming administration to make stabilizing the economy a major priority.
And all details of these plus sports coming up here on Newsnight. Of course, later in the bulletin, the Joy FM 90s Jam is back this Friday, January 3, to bring back the magic of memorable Ghanaian and global music for an unforgettable night of nostalgia. I am Samuel Kojo. Brace details shortly. Tonight, the Ghana Airport Workers Union has backed the decision of its management to shut down the McDan Aviation private jet terminal at the Kotoka International Airport. The private lounge has been closed as of this morning due to a debt amounting to $3 million. Speaking exclusively to Joy News, the divisional chairman of the union, Abdul Isaka Bamba, said the workers were fully behind the decision of the airport management to shut down the terminal. He also dismissed any claims of witch hunting.
The company has been shut down this morning by Managing Director of the Ghana Airport Company, Madam Yvonne. And we believe it is because of the indebtedness of McDan to GACL. And efforts have been put in place. Managing Director wrote several letters from the beginning of this year up to date. No payment was being made. I believe out of frustration, she decided to shut the place down. And you are asking why we support? Yes, we support. Because we are the workers, and it is our toil. It is our money that he is keeping. In fact, as it stands now, management is even struggling to pay some of the financial obligations that the company has over the general staff. Management is struggling to pay. So why is it that somebody will be owing, not paying, and staff will be suffering? That is why we will support the managing director in this action. I believe you are talking to staff leadership. We did not close the company. It is closed by the managing director, and we are only telling you we are supporting the managing director in this course. So if you want to talk about witch hunting, then maybe you want to say managing director is witch hunting McDan, but not us. We are staff, we are workers, and we are saying anybody who is owing us will come after the person. The managing director have started with McDan, and we are supporting her in this regard, and we are saying all other people that are owing will come after them.
The union has also served notice the airport management will in the coming days come after vendors who owe the company substantial amounts of money.
We've written several letters regarding a place like CIP as to whether they are owing us, who is managing, because as some of the, at the time that we asked some questions, we were told it is being operated by national security. How national security will be operating business at the airport, we don't know. So that is another area we are looking at, another place we are looking at. And this can only serve as a warning to all other institutions that are owing Ghana Airport Company, that having started from McDan, we'll come over all of them, we'll come after them, and we'll try to retrieve our money. And I will give you an assurance that trust Ghana Airport Company staff. If you have to do with their money and protection of their company, they will do it, and we will do it in the best way possible.
Abdul Isaka Bamba is the divisional chairman of the Ghana Airport Workers Union at the Kotoka International Airport. But reacting to the development, Chief Executive Officer of the McDan Aviation, Kweku Amprofi, admitted the company owes the airport company limited, but said the 3 million figure in the public domain is not accurate.
I must admit that yes, we have had some issues with Ghana Airport Company today. They did go to the terminal and closed down access to the terminal. To give a bit of a background, number one, the news item that's circulating is that we owe $3 million. That is incorrect. We do have some debt that we have with Ghana Airport Company. It's of some rent that we need to pay on the terminal, but also some land ground rent that we've been in conversation with them over the past couple of weeks. Now, we did make a case to Ghana Airport Company that the land for which they were requiring us to make payment is actually under litigation. There's a court case on the land as we speak. The court still hasn't made a decision yet on that case. We won at the High Court, and the other party appealed. So it's in the appeals court now, and the decision hadn't yet been made. We told Ghana Airport to wait until the court makes a determination, and once they do, then if we are.
Well, you heard him talk about some land dispute there. In the last few hours, the company has released a statement detailing exactly what the true picture is. And my colleague, Nana Dankwa-Boachi Yadom, who is representing Kumasi in Accra today, is joining me with details.
Well, Kojo, the release from the McDan group of companies is expressing disappointment regarding the decision by the Ghana Airport Company Limited to deny access to their terminal, particularly given that the issue leading to this action have been under active discussion. The group of companies says that they acknowledge the financial responsibility concerning the use and operation of the fixed base operator at the terminal, for which they have made significant payment previously. Last week, they say they have made an additional payment with a plan to continue payment from January 2025. It is, however, surprising that the McDan Aviation does not owe the Ghana Airport Company Limited $3 million on the terminal, as erroneously reported. Additionally, they are currently involved in a legal dispute concerning a parcel of land acquired from the Ghana Airport Company on the Spintex Road. A third party has raised litigation issues resulting in a court proceedings. The Ghana Airport Company is aware of the situation, and they have communicated that payments will remain on hold until the court case is fully resolved. Well, according to the McDan Company, it is regrettable that the Ghana Airport Company Limited has chosen to take this line of action, particularly when the matter at hand are not interconnected. Nevertheless, they are committed to engaging in constructive dialogue to achieve a favorable resolution. And this is coming from Kweku Amprofi, who is the CEO of the McDan Group.
Well, so the question out there is, when will McDan Aviation start operation? Kweku Amprofi says the company is working with the Ghana Airport Company Limited to ensure they resolve this dispute and for operations to resume.
We do not owe $3 million at the terminal. That $3 million that you're talking about is a bit from the terminal, but then the bulk of it is on the land issue that I talked about that we acquired from Ghana Airport Company that is currently in court. Now, last Friday, we issued a check to Ghana Airport Company for 2 million cedis that we lodged with them on Friday. That was for the terminal. That was for what we owed on the terminal. So we got very surprised to see that Ghana Airport Company had decided to, shut down access to the terminal. I don't think it's a good image, not just for us, but also for the country as a whole. Our lesson of action is to talk to Ghana Terminal and keep engaging Ghana Airport Company and keep engaging them. Again, as I said, we have lodged a check of 2 million cedis to them last Friday, just this Friday. I personally was the one who delivered the check to them.
Kweku Amprofi is the Chief Executive Officer of the McDan Aviation. Away from that, calls have intensified for the persistent financial challenges that caused the delay in the release of results of the West African Secondary School Certificate Examination WASSCE by the WAEC to be addressed. Now, this is coming on the back of the delay in the release of the results for the 2024 examination period due to debt owed by the government of Ghana. More on that shortly, but first, the West African Examinations Council WAEC has released the provisional result of the 2024 West African Senior High School Certificate Examination, but without the entire result of some 209 candidates. In a press release on Monday, the council says it is working to release login details to school heads across the country to enable them access the results, and which is on the official website. And my colleague Faustina Safo is joining me with details in that in the studio. But WAEC details exactly the passes in English, in other core subjects, and even the quality of the passes. My colleague Safo is here. Safo, let's begin with details of this particular statement, especially with the results.
Yeah, indeed. Some of the key things they raised in the statement. One, they stated that they have cancelled the subject results of 4,108 candidates for bringing foreign materials like prepared notes, textbooks, and printed materials into the examination halls. It shows that all the measures they put in place this year to ensure that they reduce the number of individuals involved in examination malpractice did not yield that much results. Goes on to say in their statement that they have cancelled the entire subject results, I beg your pardon, of 483 candidates for possession of mobile phones in the examination halls. Could you?
We also do understand that some 209, candidates have had their entire results being withheld.
Yes.
We also do know that some 460,611 people sat for the examination. But in terms of the core subject, what are we learning?
So when we look at the subject grades, if we rate our performance comparing it to the year 2023 and 2024, I'll just run you by some of our grades. In English language, as at last year, we had 73.11% pass in English language. This year, that number dropped to 69.52%. In maths, we saw some bit of improvement. So last year, there were 62.23% of individuals who sat for the exams passing it. But this year, it went up to 66.86%. In integrated science, we saw a drop again from 66.82% last year to 58.77% this year. And the same thing with social studies. Poor performance again. We're seeing a drop from 76.76% last year to 71.53% this year. Kujo.
And it looks like more females are completing school than males, because if you look at the data, males that sat for this examination were around 212,954, as against that of female being 247,657, right?
Yes.
With a difference between being 34,703.
Indeed. Indeed,
That's a lot. But the head of public affairs of WAEC, John Kapi, has been speaking on the delay in government settling debt owed WAEC and is asking government to pay in order to avoid the delay as witnessed this year.
Well, so out of the 118 that was owed, we have received so far about 60 million. And so we have an outstanding debt of 58 million to be settled by the government through the Ministry of Education. We have indicated, they have all these records over there. We've indicated that we would need those, the balance of the money to be able to pay our invigilators and supervisors, to pay our script checkers, and also to work on the printers that we have at our printing press. And of course, to pay also some of the people who supplied examination materials for us to conduct the exam. Now, so far, we have not received any formal assurance from the Ministry of Education as to when these monies will be made available to us. But we'll continue to pursue that, because indeed we have to have a situation where we do not have a repeat of what we had this time around, where our technicians held us to ransom. They were not willing to offer any services until we settled our indebtedness. We would want to ensure that at least promptly we pay every single person along the chain, so that when we get to the next exercise, we'll have a smooth sailing exercise. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, WAEC missed the scheduled date for the release of the results due to a significant outstanding debt of 118 million Ghana cedi owed the council by government. And the executive director for the Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, is calling for prudent measures to deal with this permanently.
It is important that we address the systemic issues that continues to cause delays in release of funds to WAEC for both WASSCE and BC fees. The reason why we had this challenge. If you look at in the past 3-4 years since WASSCE was made free under the free senior school program since 2020, you realize that repeatedly in WAEC's reports to Parliament, the first challenge is always late receipt of examination fee from government. That is always the first challenge that they report to Parliament every year. Last year, by now, in November, when WAEC appeared before Parliament, government was owing WAEC about 122 million Ghana cedis. This year, the situation is not too different. It was about 116 or so until the last 25 was paid last week or so. And so there's a systemic issue, which is cash flow. We need to reset the cash flow mechanism so that we finance WAEC at the point that they need the money to expedite work on WASSCE, and also such that WAEC is able to have the needed resources they need to invest to reduce examination practices, if not eliminate it at all, after all.
So that's Kofi Asare, who's the executive director for the Africa Education Watch. Now, it's a proud moment for Ghanaian journalism, as Joe News' Erastus Asare Donko has been honored with the prestigious Order of the Volta member by President Akufo-Addo for his fearless and impactful reporting. The accolade was presented at the 2024 National Honors and Awards ceremony, where over 80 individuals and institutions were recognized for their outstanding contributions to national development. My colleague Jacqueline Ansuma was there for us and has come through with this report.
Mr. Erastus Asare Donko.
The Order of the Volta, Ghana's second highest national honor, recognizes individuals who make exceptional contributions to the nation. The National Honors and Awards, instituted in 1960, the award celebrates innovation, excellence, and hard work across various disciplines. Joy News' Erastus Asare Donko now joins the ranks of distinguished Ghanaians celebrated for their service to the country. Erastus received the award for his relentless journalism that has exposed the harmful impact of illegal mining on Ghana's environment and public health. His investigative reports have sparked national conversations and put pressure on stakeholders to tackle this pressing issue. Speaking after the ceremony, Erastus expressed gratitude for the recognition and called for more collective action against illegal mining.
To gain recognition nationwide and get a national recognition for your works is exemplary. It's a nice feeling. It's motivating me a lot. But I think that this award would have been better if the issues I raised, which has won me a number of awards, was at least looked at by this administration. To me, that's the missing link. We still have all our major rivers and streams highly polluted, and this administration somehow did not attach so much importance to it, and that hurts. And that, I think, is the missing link with the kind of joy I would have expressed with this award. But the recognition alone speaks to me that at least the presidency knew about my works. They were monitoring. As to why they did not act on it, it's still a mystery.
Right, moving forward, do you think this will still motivate you to still continue doing the good works that you still do out there?
In fact, policing the environment is my job now, and I'm going to do it better than I have done it under this administration. And definitely we're going to go around again, and we're going to act and work in tandem with our colleagues to police the environment and bring the issues up for discussion. Because mind you, this is where we live, this is our space, and we all, the media fraternity, should act to protect the environment.
Right now, what's the next step? I mean, we are ending this year, moving on to the new year. What's the next step?
I think we have a new administration coming. We want to study what their policies are. And in fact, I'm expecting a lot from the incoming government. At least the first 100 days, I want to see what they will say and do concerning our polluted rivers and streams. We are thinking of going around again and getting a situational report on how Galamsey is affecting our environment still, despite our efforts. And so we're going to go that way. We also have the health effects of Galamsey, people who are getting sick, the numbers, the human touch to this whole experience.
Other awardees including Hawa Kumson, Joseph Osei Mensah Owusu, Osei Che Mensah also shared their excitement and what the recognition means to them.
Well, honestly, I wasn't expecting it, but out of the blue it came, and I was told that today was going to be the day. So you do your best for God and country, and if people think that you deserve to be recognized in the way that has been done, it's going to inspire other people who work with a clean conscience and a clean heart for the country. It's not about money, but it's about doing your best.
Recognized and are rewarded, do more.
Okay.
When you're recognized and rewarded, you do more. For me, it is the most important statement of recognition of the little things you'll be able to do for the country.
I'm really excited for this award. I never thought of it. I never dreamt of it. But by God's grace, today I'm here as one of the awardees for this country by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm very excited.
In all, over 80 individuals and institutions were recognized, with the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, receiving the highest award of the land.
Order of the Star of Ghana officer goes to His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. You have been a steadfast advocate for religious tolerance and national unity, exemplifying leadership that transcends divisions and promotes peace and harmony among Ghanaians.
In his last address during the National Honors and Awards, President Akufo-Addo emphasized the significance of the honorees and their commitment to national development.
It is a celebration of some of the people whose quiet yet impactful efforts inspire us all to dream bigger and reach higher. This tradition goes back to 1960, when our first president, Kwame Nkrumah, inaugurated the National Honors and Awards scheme. From then till now, this ceremony has been a cornerstone of our national journey, a way of saying thank you to those whose selflessness and brilliance light the way for the rest of us.
From shining a light on Galamsey to holding power accountable, Erastus Asare Donko's recognition is a win for journalism and environmental advocacy. For Joy News, I'm Jacqueline Ansma Yaboa.
Your remarkable career has been marked by numerous
and we say congrats to Erastus Asare Donko for that wonderful works he's done throughout the year and for this particular award, and it's set the light for all of us journalists to emulate his stance. But time for us to do business, and my Takarade brother James Eshian is in the studio. James,
Kojo, Kodo
Papa, a higher Dawson baby.
Maybe I don't know.
You were in Takrady over
I was in Takrady over the weekend.
So you saw what we call Bronya.
Bronya, West Side
like
Carnival.
when we say Tadi is the Christmas city of Ghana.
Exactly.
You get it.
I get it.
One when you Takrady, one
I mean, it was a nice experience being in Takrady over the weekend.
Sally.
Let's move straight to business this evening. And coming up in business, banks pushing incoming administration to make stabilizing the economy a major priority. And McDan Group hopeful of reopening of private terminal at the Kotoka International Airport soon over progress made in clearing debt owed. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business, Kingdom Books and Stationery, Syntex Tanks, and Pepsodent Charcoal and Herbal. I am James Ishan. Now let's settle for the details. And McDan Group says it is hopeful that its private jet terminal at the Kotoka International Airport could be reopened by tomorrow. This is based on the progress made in clearing debt owed the Ghana Airports Company. It has, however, denied that the debt position is more than $3 million. Group Chief Executive Kweku Ampromfi has been given more details about the opening of the facility tomorrow.
As I said, I was personally at Ghana Airport Company offices on Friday, just this past Friday, with my board chairman. Prior to that, I was also there on Monday talking through these whole issues. So we have been engaging and we'll continue to engage to make sure that we bring this to an amicable solution. This is not just a black eye for us, it's a black eye for the country as well. No country ever wants to say that its private jet terminal has been shut down. And so international travelers who are coming in using charter flights, business charter flight, or recreational charter flights cannot use the private jet terminal that they have. So it's not a black eye just for us, it's a black eye for the country. And we're hoping that we can have a quick solution to this with Ghana Airport Company and have this resolved.
Kweku Ampromfi as the Group Chief Executive of McDan Group. Now, banks are making a strong case for the incoming administration to make stabilizing the economy a major priority. They believe that this is one of the surest ways to deal with the high loan default rate and some challenges facing the banking sector. John Ewa is the Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Banks.
As banks, we are very much interested in staying the course on the fiscal side, on debt management, on macro stability and all the things that will lead us to have some form of increasing our ability to plan forward and also enhancing the environment in a manner that the default rate that banks are recording now, because businesses are going through some challenges, the default rate around 24% is not sustainable. If you look in the sub-region, Ghana is a complete outlier, and it should never be the case that for every 100 Ghana cedis that as banks we lend, we are likely going to lose 24 cedis.
John Ewa is the Group Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Banks, the Chief Executive Officer, sorry. Now, finally, there are calls for financial institutions to support Ghana's creative art industry to create jobs. Sub-Saharan Africa art consultant at the British Council, Paul Kweku Ampromfi, stressed the need for a deliberate policy to boost the sector. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the Creative Economy Week.
So the relationship with financial institutions really is one of trust, right? And it's also one of being able to show that you can pay back whatever monies that you're asking for. Creatives often don't look at themselves as businesses, right? And so having a strong business proposal, having a strong package that's attractive, that can show that you can bring revenue in, right? And if you have sustainable revenue, every financial institution will invest into you because they know you give them their money back. However, the advantage creatives also have is that there are various financial instruments available for them. There's grants, there's certain organizations fund creative projects exclusively, and so it's part of that is what we are trying to expose creatives, so that there's mixed funding opportunities that you can access to grow your craft. And then also, if you put systems in place properly, then you are bankable, because the bank knows if they invest in you, they can get their profits back.
Paul Kweku Ampromfi is the Sub-Saharan Africa art consultant at the British Council. And that's all for business on Newsnight with me, James Eshan. Over to you, Kojo.
Thanks, James. Let's continue here. And scores of caterers under the school feeding program today page camp at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, demanding payment of their 2-term arrears for the 2023-2024 academic year. The caterers who came from across the country to join news, all engagement with government is not yielding any results as they are under pressure from their creditors. Prince Kwame Kudoga was with the caterers who marched to the Controller and Accountant General's office and filed this report.
The caterers, numbering over 100, gathered at the premises of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection to demand payment of 2-term arrears owed them.
Without the money, we are not going because our creditors are chasing us, police are chasing us, we cannot even sleep our house. So that's the reason why we're here. Can you imagine, the greater part of here are single parents and they use their own money.
The group then marched to the office of the Controller and Accountant General, where the Controller General went into a closed-door meeting with the leadership of the group. After the meeting, Head of Public Relations at the Controller and Accountant General's office, Cephas Dosu, assured the money will be paid by Tuesday, the 31st of December 2024.
Even before Christmas, large chunk of the money has been disbursed to the Gender Ministry. The controller has been in contact with them and has urged them to at least go ahead and disburse whatever amount has been given to them. Has also given assurance that they have started processes since last Friday, and they are sure that by tomorrow the monies will hit the individual accounts of the service providers.
The leadership of the association after the meeting expressed confidence in the assurance by the Controller and Accountant General.
Talking to us, he did a follow-up call to find out how far the ministry and the GIPS has reached, and I think they confirmed from the ministry, from the deputy minister, he confirmed that by the close of tomorrow we'll receive our money. So that has given us the assurance that work is still ongoing. And we have the trust in the controller that everything will be fine by tomorrow.
Meanwhile, some of the members say they have no faith in the promises.
It's not true. They've lied to us severally. This is the first time. We've been in this thing for almost 7 years. There's not even one day I'm going to buy willingly. They have to be like this. Talk and curse before they bring it. So what they are saying is a lie. They just want us to go to wherever we are coming from so that they will have time to rest.
The school feeding caterers have gone back to the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, insisting they are not moving until their monies are disbursed. Prince Kwame Kudoga's report for Joy News.
Meanwhile, Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dakwa Newman, has assured the caterers disbursement of arrears will start tomorrow.
Trying to give our caterers some assurances on the monies they are being owed. We've had a lengthy meeting with them. They have spoken about their grievances, and we have also assured them that, as was communicated to them, their outstanding payments for the third term, it should be paid tomorrow. So they have come to understand what we've explained to them concerning that outstanding payment, and they welcome the news that tomorrow our caterers will be paid for their third term. Concerning the first term, they just ended the first term, so they are doing their own internal processes at the School Feeding Secretariat to bring it to the ministry for us to also append our signature. And so once that is done, the controller once again will come in to effect and release the monies needed for the first term. So I've spoken to them at length, and they are also waiting for their payments, which is to be tomorrow.
Dakwa Newman is Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, and the lively beat of the 90s are set to return. Joy FM's exciting 90s Jams event celebrating the music and culture that made the decade special. Now, the event will be held on Friday, January 3 at the Pleasant Gardens in Jolo here in Accra, starting at 6 p.m. going down until dawn. Patrons will enjoy the hits of Ghanaian legends like Reggie Rockstone, Achame, Daddy Lumba, Kojo Enchi, Sonny Bali. Hey, remember Book Back? Or Bradford, TikTok, Philomena Potenge, yeah, and more. Our DJs will also be dropping songs from superstars like Tupac Shakur, Naughty by Nature, and Notorious B.I.G., whose songs became worldwide anthems in the 90s. Tell you what, the 90s Jam will be a vibe, because just this teaser alone is getting the whole room giddy, and I hope that you'll be there. Join me and a host of others as we go way back into the 90s to feel what jams was like back in the day. Well, my name is Samuel Kujobris, and that's how I wrap up the news for you. There's more on myjoyonline.com. Keep listening to 99.7.